Hello and welcome back to the Majestics 55th Annual Car Show. I'm Jay Thomas behind the camera. We got Rod in front of you right now, and this is Hot Rod Hangout, where we're going to bring you a little bit more of the Majestics Car Show.
Part
2.
3.
Well, sort of. Anyways, we're going to keep going with a few of the cars here. Some really cool stuff in this next video to show you. A couple of friends of mine that I got some cars in here. A really cool Lincoln we're going to take a look at in a second. Yeah, but this is pretty wild behind us. Look at this Model A and like 66 Pontiac 230 overhead cam, right? It's an overhead cam Pontiac engine, which I mean, like, of course, obviously we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in carburetors, right? Yeah, am I counting right? 5 carburetors.
No problem doing that.
Yeah, no problem setting that. But this overhead cam engine wasn't made for very long. I know that much about it. I read an article about it once.
What year is it?
From a 66. So like for GM, any North American car, overhead camshaft was like super rare, right?
The Firebird had it in 67.
Right.
Very rare, yeah.
Very rare. And they actually discontinued it because people just didn't get it. They didn't get the overhead cam thing, right? We got a timing belt or timing chain up front there. Camshaft runs in the top, just like every modern engine just about, except for, you know, some of our old pushrod stuff hanging around. But, you know, most cars, overhead cam.
Reminds me of the Quad 4 and the Grand Am.
Yeah, totally. This is pretty wild, though. And the color is really juicy. It's like Jolly Green Giant Green, you know?
Emerald green.
Yeah. Pretty neat.
Wow, that's a 59 dash in there.
That is a 59 dash, but look, it's centered right in the middle. It's like centered. Actually, that looks like a lot of legroom. You sit like way back here.
Look at the pedals.
No back seat. I know the pedals are wild. They hang from the. See if I can zoom in a little bit there. That's pretty cool. Again, this is one of those jobs that's like just so well done. Over the top. Yeah, incredible.
You have the little detail on your sill plate.
Yeah.
Look at the little turn.
I know. Look at the glitter and all the silver glitter in the center console there. There's pinstriping even in the middle. Like, super cool. Wildly cool. A couple of great hot rods to see over here. And this is a neat take on a hot rod too. If you really look at it,
Oh, I've been
like 32 Speedster, but look at the sort of, it kind of gives me like a World War II, you know, old plane kind of.
Indy 500.
Yeah.
The torpedo back.
The torpedo back. Like that's, you know, look at the way they've done the interior with the colors. I think the colors are like just out of this world good. The combination of the orange, the like dark teal, the light seafoam green inside, and the saddle colored leather is,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
it's pretty wild.
You have to kind of spend some time with like this stuff.
Like, yeah, you do. So if you're seeing something like this in the video, we highly encourage you to come to the show. You know, we're going to be here till 9 o'clock tonight. Maybe that's not enough time for a road trip right now if you're in Saskatoon or points north. But it also means that we got tomorrow, another show.
What's that license plate?
KRP 2NYT. I say it's kryptonite.
Oh, good one.
As in green kryptonite that, you know.
I get it.
I get it. Couple cool couple cool displays here, which is awesome. This is wild. So it's a Civic, and it's the Acura 3.2 with a supercharger on it, and there's not a chance that a hood would ever close on top of it. But I met one of the guys the guy who owns this car, and super cool work. And in fact, one of the guys that works out in Martinsville at shop there, where you had your truck lowered.
Phobia.
Yeah, Phobia. One of the Phobia guys. That's one of the Phobia guys there. That's pretty wild.
It's different. I like it. It's kind of neat. That's neat.
It is neat.
Is that wrap or is that paint?
Oh, it's paint. It's paint. Yeah, I've seen down here. It was painted, but vinyl top and orange, and she's bold.
It's big down at the sleeves.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the big wheel thing.
Donk to donk.
Yeah, exactly. Nice little Grand Sport here. Looking very nice. We had a look at the Bel Air over there before. Now, we got a Plymouth. Like the paint on this, hey? That's a good color. Yeah, very much. That is. Oh, it's in good shape.
Yellow works.
Yeah, yellow does work on a Corvette. It really does. That's really clean. Under there, everywhere. Oh, good. Manual transmission.
71.
It's a 71. So we're going to bring you a bit more of the show down here. What do you think of the underglow? It's like the Care Bear countdown.
Yeah.
Cuda's very nice. Yeah, Cuda's very nice. Look at this big Pontiac. You know, okay, so we're seeing a few bigger cars coming out of the woodwork here, right? Like all of a sudden, my big old honking Buick isn't going to be the only one around anymore. We got some big cars in here. I love the Super 70s paint scheme with the lines, and they continue on to the roof and split the colors. Totally. But look at how good a shape that interior's in. And the thing is, most of these were like into racing, right? Most of these went to street stocks. Alex probably wrecked 5 of these, you know, like.
So this is a perfect platform to do like a pro touring. Like I think this the way the car looks, it's very unassuming. But if you were to do the suspension,
Yep.
I don't know. I like this.
This is another one, not far off from the Granville over there, that has actually really phenomenal paint. It's again another brown car, but you know what? That paint job is spectacular. The Browns are coming back, baby. Look at this little Nissan King cab.
These little mini trucks are coming back.
Oh, totally. This has got a custom box on it. I mean, a lot of these, they just box rusted right off of them. BMW and a Mercedes over here. This looks great. Look at the bed. Red with the black on the outside. I've never noticed this. This stripe. That's pretty cool.
Well, this is a cameo.
Yeah, this is a cameo.
But look at like our truck in our booth.
Yeah.
It's actually 59. This is 58. So the front end would have been just like this.
Would have been just like this. But this has got single headlights.
Well, it's GMC.
Oh, okay. So Chevy did duals.
Yeah.
GM stuck with the singles. You know, this is a pretty cool front end though too.
Yeah, it's chunky. And,
It's pretty awesome.
the cameo's super rare box. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I guess yeah, because we've got the big, you know, step side thing going on. This is a fleet, considered a fleet side, right?
Yep. Well, the early version of it.
The early version of it. Look at the back end though. Look at the basically fins growing on the truck.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really dead sexy actually.
That's really.
Now that I look at that more, like I kind of walked past this before, and
It's got a LS in it too.
the more I look, the more I actually like it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Some dually action going on in here.
Usually popular too.
Yeah.
This body style.
And you know what? For being black, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, you don't see many short box dualies. They don't hit them for years.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, that makes sense. Pretty cool Bronco over here. You know, with the Ford bringing back the new Bronco, like we're getting a surge to the old ones.
Prior to doing the new Bronco.
Exactly. What I notice on this, it's pretty neat. We got air conditioning in there in a little tiny Bronco, which is pretty cool.
Look how the booster comes out on an angle.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? You must have some pretty interesting like linkage to make the brake pedal work for that. Oh yeah, it does. It's got a little kind of swiveling motion pinion in there. That's pretty neat. Okay.
44.
Holy.
Little small block.
I don't think it's short on power though.
That looks fun.
Okay, we're gonna take you through a piece at least of the second bay of the show. Like there's so much to see here at Majestics. Make sure you come on by and check it out. Check this out. This is a pretty cool paint job.
Wild.
chameleon thing on a Canyon. Got some racers in here. Old Model T truck. Old Betsy just farting down the road.
Imagine driving that now. Like,
Well, I don't think they even go much faster than 30 miles an hour. Like, and the thing is, they have almost no brakes, right? It's like a little band on the
kinda cool to see
axle.
them in that shape. It's kinda,
Yeah, you don't see as many Pontiacs done from the 50s as you do, you know, of course. Yeah, Chevys and stuff. I like the color.
you know, the 57 Pontiac had the same lines as the 56 Chevy.
Right?
They were a year off.
I know. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
34 looks sharp. That's a super cool color. As you can hear, we got some puppies there.
shelter or whatever.
Yeah,
Is it like a dog?
I think it's an adoption thing. Yeah. Lots of first times in the show, which is really great.
That's for sale.
Oh.
We have to come back for a visit.
Look at this little comet. Okay,
I don't think I've ever seen one.
and what's so cool? Like, these were throwaway cars, right? These, like, no, did anybody keep these? It's a Comet. But remember, this is when I think that they had Comet as a second brand. It was its own brand for a little while. It's a 61 Comet. But I think it was separated. So we got my friend Dwayne over here who's talking, but this Lincoln Capri is so wildly cool. Okay, I know we had a Lincoln in the shop before, right? Yeah, in Saskatoon.
The Hotline or something. I've never seen it. Very nice.
So some really neat stuff in this car. You'll notice little lights up in the corners there. They're like cut reflection, anti-glare little lights that they're like a pure accessory.
I don't know what that is.
No, they're not sex lights. They're not.
They are for the glare. Man.
They are for the glare.
Semi-drivers do that. It's not legal. But
It was a period correct accessory, and this is the original color of the car. It's been obviously restored and really well restored, but Lincoln did some cool stuff. Yeah, and so this was an original travel sticker. So the story is that this car was bought brand new and bought for a road trip.
really,
So it was bought to go up to the Northwest Territories, like that sticker showed. It went on the road trip. I believe it came back. The owner passed away shortly after, and it just sat. It was like, it sat and sat and sat. The wife kept it, but it never went anywhere else after that.
so when was it restored?
Well, it was still that in the 1980s, and it's sort of 2021. It was put back together.
Okay,
So
so
it's
it's only a couple
only
years
a
old.
couple years old. This restoration. It's really quite fresh on this car.
These are so hard to do, these big 50s cars, because the chrome and all the attention to detail is
Yes.
crazy.
Well, and
Like you can't buy
no,
this stuff.
and not for a Lincoln, especially when you consider this also has some gold accents in it too, and so it's not just chrome. This also has the additional Continental kit on it.
The bullets on there.
Yeah, but I mean the interior is super, super cool. And it's
Now, the gas cap, didn't the taillight move or something?
no, I don't think on this one it does. I can't remember if it's on the other side or not.
Well, the gas is right behind
Is it? Oh, is it? What's okay? So here's the fascinating fact. Okay, so this is a Lincoln, but when it was new, Lincoln Mercury were still their own separate division from Ford, owned by Ford but separate, right?
Yeah.
So what I learned from Dwayne here, the owner, this has a Hydromatic 4-speed automatic in it. Lincoln was purchasing transmissions from GM for their Lincoln cars because they were known as the best transmissions, and a lot of these were built like this one was for a road trip with a 4-speed with automatic. So it'll a 50s car that'll easily do 70 miles an hour very, very easily, contrary to most 50s cars who struggle a little bit going that fast, right? Up the Northwest Territories. Okay, this setup I think is probably got to take the cake for best display in the whole place.
If you look at it, it's actually, it wouldn't take that long to put together. It's almost genius.
But look at this display.
Look at the stance on this thing.
I know, like look at how those
Oh,
tires,
God.
like
Tucks up in there.
in fact, the radius of the wheel well and the radius of the wheel like are almost perfectly matched.
I haven't read the car show car on it. I don't think that's on air ride, is it? I think that's how the car is.
Look at that little matching trailer that goes with it. Pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
license plate.
That's Wahoo 2 and Wahoo.
Wahoo and Wahoo too.
Yeah,
That's kind of cute. I like this.
this is a sexy ride.
34, right?
Yep, 34. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It's so simple. Like it's
Yeah, totally.
Good display. That's a good display.
We'll take a little stroll down British car lane here. I love this Jag up front. I really do.
Was that here last year?
It might have been. Cool Jag.
I think we talked about that last year.
I think we might have. Yeah, I think we might have. Some Jags here. MG row. TRD. You know what I haven't seen is that big Caprice wagon up close over there in the next row yet. There's some cool stuff in the next row that's coming up.
That next video on?
You want to save it for next video? Yeah? Okay, well,
Wind up at the end. That's one of our old trucks for the end.
let's do that. And here's some competition for our truck.
Big back window.
This is a big back window truck, right?
The color, I like the color.
Isn't the color cool? Remember I was telling you? The edges are trimmed on the box here, which is a little different. Big back window, a little bit of extra trim and chrome around the window frame.
And the front window too.
And the front window too. Super nice. Fuel injected this time.
LS1, yeah.
Yep.
Well, ours got an LS too.
As well. Just that we're carbureted right now. Pretty good looking. Let's wrap up over here because you know what? You never see Dodges around from the early 50s. This is pretty wild. It's very original.
Yeah, this is cool.
A Mayfair
To restore this car would be an absolute
challenge.
oh,
Super hard, right? Because where do you find, and it's a hard top, but where do you find the parts for it? And look at those little flying fins off the back of it, you know?
that's why these 50s cars, like you guys know, are my favorite because every year is different and it's such a hard car to do, so you can really appreciate when they're done well like this.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching this update. We're going to bring you more of the car show in hours to come. If you can make it down here, awesome. Come for a drive to Regina and out to Everaz Place. This is the International Trade Center. We're open till 9 tonight, and we're going till 9 to 5 tomorrow. I'm Jay with Rod. This is Hot Rod Hangout.